Muhammad was 53 years old when he married a 6-year-old girl. Muslims say that was normal back then. Okay, let's say it was normal. But wait a second. Muhammad was a prophet. He spoke directly to God. He received revelations every day. So here's the question. Couldn't God have told him, Muhammad, don't marry a 6-year-old child. This is wrong. Or did God think this was normal? And even more interesting, Allah sent special verses about who Muhammad could marry, which women are halal, which are haram, detailed list. But he didn't put don't marry 6-year-old children anywhere. Today we'll get answers. Why didn't God warn him? If God sent revelations to Muhammad about everything, how to perform ablution, which hand to eat with, how many times to prostrate, then why didn't he say this? Muhammad, don't marry a 6-year-old child. In the future, people will call this pedophilia. Muslims say that was normal back then. But didn't God know the future? Didn't God know that in 2025 people would call this child abuse? Two options. Option 1, God knew but didn't care, meaning God thinks marrying a 6-year-old is fine. Option 2, God didn't know, meaning he couldn't foresee future morality, which is worse. And here's the real irony. Muhammad made eternal rules about other things. Pork is haram for all time. Alcohol is haram for all time. Interest is haram for all time. But marrying a 6-year-old child, cultural. Pork is forbidden forever, but child abuse is of that time? Let's talk about the age gap. Muhammad was 53. Aisha was 9. The difference, 44 years. Aisha's father Abu Bakr was 51 years old, meaning Muhammad was older than Aisha's father. Imagine a girl today, 9 years old. Now imagine her grandfather. Now imagine a man older than her grandfather marrying that girl. What do you say? Perfect example? Allah's marriage revelations. Now here's the really interesting part. Do you know how many verses Allah sent about Muhammad's marriage? Surah Al-Ahzab verse 50 says, O Prophet, we have made lawful to you your wives to whom you have given their dowries, and those whom your right hand possesses from the captives of war, and the daughters of your paternal uncles, and the daughters of your paternal aunts, and the daughters of your maternal uncles, and the daughters of your maternal aunts who migrated with you, and a believing woman who gives herself to the Prophet. Allah created marriage categories for Muhammad. Wives he paid dowry to. War captive women, spoils of war. Paternal uncles' daughters, paternal aunts' daughters, maternal uncles' daughters, maternal aunts' daughters, women who give themselves to him. Detailed list, but look what he didn't write. Don't marry girls under 6 years old. Age gap shouldn't exceed 40 years. Child marriage is forbidden. God explains whether Muhammad can marry his cousin but forgets to write don't marry a 6-year-old child. Ahzab 50 continues, this is exclusively for you, not for the believers. Meaning Allah said, Muhammad, marry as many as you want. Other believers are limited to 4, but not you. Believers, 4 wives maximum. Muhammad, unlimited. Why? Because he's special. Ahzab verse 51, you may defer any of them you wish, and take to yourself any you wish. Meaning, whichever wife you want, take her. Don't want her? Leave her. In today's language, this is called a harem. Let me tell you about Zainab. Muhammad's adopted son Zayd was married to Zainab. Muhammad saw Zainab, liked her, told Zayd, divorce her. Zayd divorced. Then Allah sent a special verse, Ahzab 37. When Zayd dissolved his marriage with her, we gave her to you in marriage, so that there might be no restriction on the believers regarding the wives of their adopted sons, meaning Allah sent revelation for Muhammad to marry his adopted son's wife. Ahzab verse 53. It is not lawful for you to marry more women after this, nor to change them for other wives, nor is it lawful for anyone to marry his wives after him. Even after Muhammad died, his wives can't marry anyone else. Why? It would hurt the Prophet. The Prophet is dead, but it still hurts him. Here's the summary. Verses Allah sent about Muhammad's marriage, more than 10. Verses Allah sent banning child abuse, 0. Allah explained who Muhammad can marry, including relatives. How many times he can marry, unlimited. Which wife he can choose, whoever he wants. That he can take his adopted son's wife, special revelation. That his wives can't marry anyone else, even after his death. But he forgot to say, don't marry a 6-year-old child. Did God have nothing else to do, or was Muhammad presenting his own desires as revelation? The charitable Muhammad lie. Muslims say Muhammad was helping widows. Let's look at his 11 wives. Khadija, rich merchant, not charity, she was rich. Sauda, widow. Aisha, 6 years old, not widow child. Hafsa, widow. Zainab bint Khuzaimah, widow. Salama, widow. Zainab bint Josh, adopted son's wife. Not widow, was married. Juwayriyah, war captive. Safiya, Muhammad killed her husband. Charity? Habiba, widow. Maimuna, widow. Of 11 wives, 3 are clearly not charity. Aisha, 6 years old, what charity? Zainab, took adopted son's wife. What charity? Safiya, killed her husband in the morning, married her in the evening. What charity? And even the remaining widows, did women have no other option after their husbands died? Could only the Prophet help? Couldn't help be given without marriage? Here's the truth. Muhammad married women he liked, and Allah sent him special verses. Marry whoever you want. Charity is just an excuse. Muslim countries today. Now Muslims say, this was 1400 years ago. So what's happening now? Yemen. 8-year-old girl married, died on wedding night. Family said, Prophet took her at 9. We took her at 8. Pakistan, 2021. Child marriage ban rejected by Islamic Council. Why? Prophet took her at 9. Afghanistan. Taliban says marriage at 9 is legal. Why? Sunnah. UNICEF 2023. Child marriage in Muslim countries 35%, in Christian countries 12%. Why? The Prophet did it. Here's the problem. When you call Muhammad the perfect example, everything he did becomes legitimate. Marriage at 9 becomes legitimate, and this is happening today. Muhammad married 6-year-old Aisha. Allah sent more than 10 verses about Muhammad's marriage, who he can marry, including cousin daughters, how many times he can marry, unlimited. He can marry his adopted son's wife, special revelation, but forgot to write, don't marry a 6-year-old child. Now you decide, is this coming from God or Muhammad's own desires? Write in comments. Are you Muslim? How do you answer these questions? Are you ex-Muslim? What made you doubt? Are you Christian? Did Jesus ever do anything like this? And here's the final question. If today, a 53-year-old man married a 6-year-old girl and said, God allowed me, do you believe him or do you call the police? Ask the same question about Muhammad.